Welcome to episode 427 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from thegeeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart.
Known across the internet as Casual Terror.
Alrighty, this week is tech and gaming. So, Stuart, what have you been up to?
Well, like many people, I have been looking for a new graphics card. And like also many people, I have been entering in the Newegg Shuffle, which, hundreds of thousands of people plus their bots also enter. So like millions of entries for, I don't know how many cards, like how many of like each, card, but, I haven't been doing it for long, actually. I've only been doing it for a couple weeks. And I got a notification today that I won the Newegg Shuffle on a new RTX 30 series card. And I am so excited. Because also, like 2 days, and this happened today. And 2 days ago, I put in an order for table legs and a table and couple of tabletops to build a new desk to actually have a whole new setup. So I'm about to be all out. It's gonna have a nice like L table, have like an actual like monitor mounts, like multiple monitor mounts, all that set up.
Nice.
Like a new like full size like keyboard and mouse mat, which actually has my logo on it. So there's that, and I'm about to go all out on a new setup, like just a brand new look. So this may be the last. No, because I will not have it set up by next week. So next week will be the last time you see my blinds and my shelf behind me. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to a whole new change. And
that's cool.
I was already thinking about streaming a bunch this weekend as well. So that was already going to happen. So I'm going to get kind of back into streaming. And with the new, RTX card, it's going to look better because I'll have things on higher settings. I might actually be able to stream Baldur's Gate 3 on something other than dog shit poo poo graphics.
Yeah.
Which is odd because I can play on high but not stream on high. I don't understand that.
Well, you got the 1070 right now?
I've got a 1070, meaning I can play on ultra, but I can't stream, but I can only stream on low. Like, just skipping high, medium, I have to go straight to low, which has no shadows, very low polygon count. Like, it looks crappy. When I can play on normally on ultra, it does. I don't understand.
The RTX cards also have the extra like streaming stuff, right?
Yes. So
that'll definitely be
it'll help.
Big help. Yeah.
So, unfortunately though, it wasn't the actual card I was going to get, which was a 3080, but it's a 3070 Ti, which, at this point, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll buy it. And that comes next week. So now I need to make sure my power supply is okay. Because that's my only iffy thing about my setup right now is like, do I have a good enough power supply? Because my power supply is the oldest thing apart from it. my power supply is the one that came with a case, like 6-7 years ago. So that might need to be updated.
Is your case going to be good? Because aren't the 30 series like big cards?
My case, like it's like I'm touching the top of it. Like it's a fucking beast of a case. Like I was looking like just like PCs, just like little things you just set the PC on to bump it up because it's sitting on carpet, which it shouldn't be, but it is. And like all those, like, oh yeah, it'll fit a good sized case, 9 by 12-inch case. Mine's 10 by 14, and for the life of me, I could not find a thing that didn't have fucking wheels. To actually put my case on. So
Okay. That's been that and the power supply are the two things I've heard about the new 30 series to make sure,
Yeah, and I thought
I'm with you. I've got a massive case as well.
Yeah, I thought that the new cards, they took the 12-pin connector. But no, that's just the founder cards. Only those do. Yeah, if it's third party, MSI, PNY, Asus, they all have the standard 8-pin connectors. Like, okay, cool. I don't have to have a new power supply if it'll work. So we'll find out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a whole new setup.
Nice.
But I have been playing games. I've been playing a couple new things actually. One of the things has been the Dark Alliance game that came out. Yeah, it's okay. It's not great. It's just okay. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the style of game that this is, where it's just like you meet in a hub, then you collect your party, and then you all go out, and then you select your mission, and it goes doot doot doot, and you all just spawn to your mission, and then you do the thing and spawn back, collect gear and all, and then rinse and repeat. That's that type of game.
Oh, okay.
It's like, Destiny. It does this, but this does it in a way more bare bones way. There's a lot of games that do this, and I'm not a fan of that type of game. The combat is okay. It's not great. Mouse and keyboard control, though, whoever thought of the mouse control should never work in video games again. Because I've never heard of this setting, and you cannot fucking turn it off. But okay, in a lot of games they have mouse acceleration, which don't do that. Don't have mouse acceleration. That should be off by default, if anything. This has reverse mouse acceleration or mouse reverse acceleration. What is that? Because what mouse acceleration is, you know, you move your mouse a little bit, or you move your mouse like really fast, and then it'll actually speed up the controls. Actually, so you like do like a little small flick, and you'll end up doing a 180, then having to like move your hand like all the way across. I get it. I understand that. But to reverse that, meaning if you move your mouse like really fast across the screen and it slows down, no, that's the dumbest controls I've ever heard of. And you can't even turn it off. There's not a setting to turn it off. Because like what I like to do is I like to set my sensitivity. You know, I've got a good sized mouse mat. You know, it's not small. You know, it's kind of big. Yeah. I go from the edge of the pad to the other end, and that is a little over 360 degrees on a turn when I play games. It's a little bit over. That's where I like my sensitivity. Well, with this game, for the life of me, I'm like messing with the settings, going, okay, move the mouse over. Like he only turned 180 degrees. What the hell? No, he's only turned 180. Sensitivity max. No, he's only turned 180. DPI in the settings. You know, I have it set to. I turned it all the way up to 6,000 DPI, which is an insane fast speed, and it's going only 180. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Am I messing with the wrong setting? No. I moved the mouse a little bit, and he turned like 8 times in a full circle. Like, what the fuck? It's the dumbest setting I've ever heard of, and it needs to be. It almost made me like, okay, I can't play this game then. I can't. I decided, no, I'll play with a controller. And even then, it feels sluggish. But yeah, this is the type of game like, okay, it's gonna be, you're gonna play these levels hundreds of thousands of times to get better loot. And it's just like this game was made for grinding, and that's just what you'll do.
Oh, it's disappointing.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's got mediocre scores, on all kind of on Metacritic, and yeah, I'll agree with those scores.
The weird thing is PC Gamer has given it an 82
because they play with the controller. Yeah, and that was like one of like the first like high scores that I saw when people were reviewing this game. Like, what? Is like actually like PC is like the worst. Yeah, and it's got a user score of 3.5, which that's maybe a little low.
There's not a lot of like legitimate like known sites that reviewed it on Metacritic, weirdly enough. A lot of sites that I've never heard of.
And yeah, PC Gamer, Screen Rant. What Screen Rant are doing doing game reviews?
IGN and Eurogamer Italy. Okay. Gaming Bible, God is a Geek. Attack of the Fanboy. I don't even know what this is. WCCF Tech.
I mean, but honestly, like we could probably get on that critic score side. I don't think you actually need like much to get on the critic side.
Metacritic credentials are important to at least the PR people. If you got Metacritic credentials, then we could be in a lot of stuff to cover.
Maybe we should look into that, and we'll get sent more games.
Yeah, we got to actually do more stuff, though. That's the thing.
That's the thing. We got to do more stuff.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if we actually made money doing this, and it was enough to make a living, we would.
Yeah. Or even just a significant amount, just enough to make,
but
like a equivalent to a part-time job, even,
Yeah. But we don't do anything, and what we get out of this reflects it. So, yeah.
That's true.
But I have been playing another game, though. And I think you might really like this game. Called Grifflands. You heard of it?
Oh, no. I haven't.
It's about $20 on Steam. Think Slay the Spire, but with a story. Like it's a card building roguelike game where instead of like in Slay the Spire where you're going through different floors of a tower, you're actually going through and playing as these characters and kind of somewhat role playing as these characters. And you get two different decks. You get a battle deck and a negotiation deck. So because hey, not all fights are won with swords. Some are won with words. But they do kind of play out the same way. Like you have cards that will attack the enemy and then cards that will defend you or put buffs on you and all that kind of stuff. And I honestly, like this game was like right up your alley. The only thing is like runs can actually be kind of long. That's like runs are kind of long. Like I did a run earlier today and it was just like, okay, I'm just going to kill anybody that I have a chance to kill. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to fight. I'm going to be aggressive, just in your face, just kind of just trying to die as fast as possible. That took an hour. So, and I killed like 6 people because at the end of a fight, if you reach a certain point, when you actually do a battle, the enemy will either run away or surrender, and you have the option to execute or let them go. But if you let them go, there's a chance they might be pissed off that they lost the fight and come back later. So there's the okay, do I kill you now or do I possibly kill you later? And if I kill you now, who's ever you're best friends with will hate me. And that can actually put up barriers because like during that kill run, when you play a Saul, like the first character you unlock or you're basically get given, at the end of her first day, there's a boss fight, and you have the option to negotiate with the bouncer of the bar to fight with you. And the bouncer of the bar through this run was actually like best friends with the guy that I killed earlier that day. I'm like, oh fuck. And it doesn't make it impossible to negotiate them on your side. It just makes it harder. Like their resolve, which is basically their health during a negotiation, is higher. And it's randomized. What makes it a roguelite is the people, because the people themselves are random. Or like the quests that you get. I've played like the first day of Saul like 4 times, and I got different quests every single time. So there's a lot of replayability to it, but like I said, the runs are kind of long.
Oh wow, yeah. Can you say is there like saving in between the runs or no?
Yes, there is saving,
Okay.
yes. And I've not, like there's a story mode where you don't there's no permadeath, and then there's a run mode, and I've got up till like the first 2 days done with Saul on the story mode, and then I've done a couple runs just for funsies, just kind of seeing what else is there. And with that, there's also like perks you can have for the start of the run. That could be like you get 16 more health when you start the game, or when you start the run, or at the start of each run, one person will automatically like you. Or pets. When you get a pet, they're automatically trained, because you can come across pets. Because there are because like there's a map that you go to, like select kind of like, I'm gonna go into this bar. Here's the bar scene. But there's a map that you kind of click the points, and the thing will go. But sometimes a random encounter will occur, and that literally could be anything. The first time I ever played the game, I had a random encounter, and it was like, oh, you come across a hurt Fortalk. Like they're all it's takes place on some, there's aliens and all that kind of stuff. You're on a weird planet. It's sci-fi. You come across a hurt Fortalk, and you take it out of the trap, and it likes you, and it was on my side, and it fought with me in battles and stuff. So there's like a limited kind of party system that people will maybe join you for like a little bit, and I don't know if anybody actually sticks around with you, but I've had temporary party members that fight with me. So it's interesting. There is Steam Workshop support, so that's cool, and there's quite a few mods. I don't see kind of, I've not played enough of it to go like, oh no, that's a necessary mod that's needed. I haven't seen any of those.
Okay, interesting.
And like, I forgot about like the more you use the cards, they then upgrade. So like, if you use the just stab, the stab attack, if you use that, like I think it's like 5 or 6 times, that one card, you can upgrade that, and it could be anything from, you end up stabbing twice, or you stab when you stab, you get 3 defense, or when you stab, you'll do 5 times the damage, but the card will be destroyed and you can never use it ever again.
Oh wow!
So it's very interesting. I think you would actually love this game. And it is $20 on Steam.
Yeah, it looks like Slay the Spire and all those other roguelike card games. Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
And I believe it's done by the people who did Don't Starve, Oxygen Not Included, and That Floor is Lava game. Yeah, so they're not unknown. People like their games. Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yeah.
Shank 2.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah. They've got a solid background.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, I've been playing that, as well as I've gotten kind of back into Final Fantasy 14. I finally finished Stormblood, so now I'm on to the post Stormblood, and then I'll be into Shadowbringers, which is the current expansion, until November. And actually, Final Fantasy 14 has been in the news lately.
Has it?
And this has been, I know. Bear in mind, I started playing before this happened. So I didn't start playing because of this. But a very, very popular WoW streamer started playing Final Fantasy 14, Asmongold. And Asmon, he is your stereotypical, like, the dude from Make Love Not Warcraft episode of South Park. He is that guy. Minus but he's not fat. But he is that stereotypical neckbeard, kind of a, he's not very PC. He's very, he there's no filter to him whatsoever. So he comes across as very abrasive and a bit of an asshole. And he is. But he started playing Final Fantasy 14. And the WoW community is known for its toxicity. Like, it is a very toxic place to be. Sometimes, like, if you say, "Oh, I'm new to this dungeon," kick. I'm not gonna run with any new people. You either better know the fight or get the fuck out. That's WoW. Where Final Fantasy 14, they're not like that at all. In fact, they're very welcoming. They're nice people. It's a very nice community. But with Asmon started playing, some of the people in the Final Fantasy community was like, we don't want their kind here at all. We need to stop them from coming in. And so we're going to make his experience as terrible as possible. So they did. They, like, that first stream, which I did watch, was like, he couldn't even get into zones because there were so many people in the area. Like, he just said, like, area is congested. Please try again. which I have never seen that message at all. Never seen that message at all. And then when he finally gets in the zone, there are so many spell effects and just sounds going off that is just, it makes your eyes and ears bleed.
Oh, wow.
And he gets outside the cities, where you can mount up, and people are riding these huge ass mounts. They're covering quest givers. They're covering the mobs. They're killing everything in the area. So he can't even finish quests. And it was a bad experience. I mean, yeah, he's used to having a train of people behind him usually anyway, because he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like he is a top tier streamer. Like he's up there with like Shroud and Tim, and like he's that level of popularity on Twitch. But he just plays WoW. But yeah, it was bad. And then the next day, people were all pissy because they got banned from the game because Square Enix called them on their griefing, and Square Enix, they don't deal with that shit. You will be nice, and we will force you to be nice. So I don't know. It was very interesting. This was last Saturday. This all happened.
Gotcha. Huh. From what I've heard, WoW's just in a shit show right now. Like
it is, and if you look up WoW refugees on Final Fantasy 14, there are tons of people who are they've made videos of, I am a WoW refugee and I've moved to Final Fantasy 14. Me actually being one of them, because I got sick of the state of the game, last expansion. And I was like, I'm just not going to do this anymore. And I was like, I've played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. It was fine. I'll check it out again. And I stuck with it, and I'm enjoying my time. But wow, it's and I'm not sure like what all you need to do right now to like, but when you do top level content, you basically need to be playing the game all the fucking time, because you're either grinding for some resource to get some piece of gear up to max level because you can upgrade some pieces of gear, or trying to max out your reputation with some faction to get access to this certain thing. And it's just a hell of a grind. You need to be playing every fucking day, and then goes, okay, and we reset every week, so you need to do it all again. Like, fuck that. No, I'm not going to do that.
Wow. Yeah.
And Final Fantasy 14 doesn't do that shit. There was one YouTuber who was actually talking to Asmongold before he even played. He says, Final Fantasy 14 respects your time. And Asmon's face was like, what? I don't know what that means. What do you mean respects your time? I don't understand. And yeah, to like a WoW player, like when you say a game respects your time, you don't understand what that means. It's like you can actually do top end Final Fantasy 14 content, have best in slot gear, and not have to play every day. Like, you can actually go out and have a life, play other games. You can do other shit besides playing Final Fantasy 14, and Square Enix is fine with that. Unlike Activision, who is like, no, you need all of your time and all of your money. Give me, give me, give me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what, what they do with WoW. That's exactly what they do with Call of Duty. That's what Activision does. And I'm not. Blizzard is no longer Blizzard. Blizzard is Activision now. What they said was not going to happen when Activision bought Blizzard has happened. Blizzard is now just Activision. So, but yeah, that's been me. What about you? What have you been doing?
I haven't really been playing anything. I mean, I've been playing a little Destiny here and there because they've been going through the grind of the stuff because they have it set up where like now they started this last season, but they have it to where like each week you get a set of like goals, like weekly challenges or whatever to do, whether it's like, do the weekly story mission, that'll give you, certain amount of XP, certain amount of reputation for the, the week or the seasonal artifact or, mechanic, whatever thing. And, maybe a weapon or something. And there'll be another challenge where do get 100 or get so many kills with a grenade launcher, and that'll have so much XP and some bright dust, which bright dust is it's the free currency you can use to buy like cosmetics and stuff if it's available for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like overall, like there's a complete 75 seasonal challenges, and then you get this like big massive amount of bright dust, which isn't really all that much, but so typically just going through that. I'm even behind. I was caught up for a while, behind now, and I'm really losing. Like the story this season has been good. I've enjoyed the story. It's pretty interesting. There's some actually really interesting stuff going on in the world of Destiny right now. With like well, I just you wouldn't really understand if I said certain things, but there's certain characters being manipulated by certain evil forces, and it's pretty interesting. But I'm just losing, like it's the same old content. Like it's just boring. Like doing the same strikes, the same missions, like over and over and over again. It's just, oh, here's a few new weapons this season to use. But you have to use it in the same content over and over and over again. And I don't know what next season's gonna be, because next season was planned, and then it was gonna be the big expansion, the Witch Queen, but they pushed that back from, like, I guess it was supposed to originally come out in like September. They pushed that back all the way to next year, to early next year. So that's going to be like 4 or 5 month season. Like, 4 months if it comes out like immediately in January, but probably won't come out immediately in January, so like it's gonna be a super long season, and I don't know what they can do to keep the attention, like of the players and stuff, but Besides that, God, I really haven't been playing too much. Like I've been meaning to, but just I've been dealing with a lot of like, fuck, I gotta do yard work. I gotta I gotta, besides just like mowing the yard and stuff like that, I've been having to like trim tree branches and stuff like that have been growing a little slightly over the fence line because I have one neighbor who's just like, she is just the slightest thing that's inconvenience to her, she'll like call the city on you.
She's okay, so she's a Karen.
Like she won't even say anything to you, and it's like I've been like out getting the mail and passed by her, and there's been tons of times where she's been able to say, hey, I've noticed so and so or such and such, and it's like, okay, sure, I'll do that.
She's a Karen. I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
Like I try not to. Their short bob haircut.
No.
Okay, so she doesn't have a Karen haircut, but she's a Karen.
Yeah, I try. I don't know. I try not to like. That just feels mean to say, but kind of. Yeah, I guess Yeah, you're right. So I've been having to
shoe fits.
I've been having to deal with a lot of that, and it's some tall trees too. So I've been having to like use the ladder I have to like get high up there, and either like use a little saw I have, or just depending, and that's been messing with my allergies. So I've just haven't been feeling like gaming a lot,
Mm-hmm.
So I've been mostly watching a lot of different things, which we'll talk about next week. I've got a lot to talk about, but besides that, I've just been, what do I got on my phone? I have been back playing Marvel Strike Force.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite mobile games. Like it's definitely has the what's it called? The model that all mobile games have, where it's like not microtransactions. I don't know why they call them microtransactions anymore, because they're not.
No, like, micro is $1 too, not 20.
Yeah, and it is some of the stuff is ridiculous. Like, for $20 you can get 175 of this of this certain like currency or whatever, but like you could earn that within like a day. Like why would you pay $20 for something you can earn really quickly? Like I'd understand if it was like a lot of a certain thing, but like some of these just are just very little amounts for outrageous amounts. Like it's just crazy, Sometimes they have stuff that's like, 99 cents for, and it's like, special sale or whatever event for like, hey, Loki's going on, so here's this thing, or the Black Widow movie's out, or so here's these type of things. Occasionally I'll buy like a couple of the 99 cents bundles with Google Play credit that I got from like the rewards, the opinion rewards, like the surveys, but like for the most part, I'm just like, whenever I'm like out or I'm just pull out my phone to check. I just do like all the stuff I can do. And then I'm just like, oh, that's all I can do. I'm out of energy or out of whatever. Okay. Back to, put the phone away, stuff like that. They did add recently, I don't know how recently, but one of the modes They added a way to they added a button where you could click and it simulates the battles, so you don't have to actually do the battles yourself, which is nice.
Okay.
Having to go through, the long process of like, oh, this character, what move do you want to do for this character? What move do you want to do for that character? And now you have to wait for the other team, stuff like that. There is a
Yep.
on their blitz mode.
Can you set it up to like start also then a fight too? So you can just like, I'm just gonna let that, I'm just gonna let the game play itself in the background for like, a day or two.
You can't do that, no.
Okay.
But for the modes where you can't just like, I mean, like it's called blitz mode or whatever, which it's like it's like there will be a certain character that's featured, and you have to earn reputation, and you and at the end of like the 3 days or whatever that it's going on, whatever your reputation is, you're on the reward tier. And it's like right now it's Hawkeye. I don't know why it's Hawkeye, but like, there's like rank 1 through 100. You get 100 Hawkeye, like character, was it shards or whatever, to either recruit him or rank him up. And then it's like the top 1%, also gets 100. 2 to 3 gets 55, 4 to 10, 45, 11 to 25%, just stuff like that. And then there's tiers like for just as you're battling, you'll get XP and you'll just unlock stuff that's right away. But the simulate thing, you just like click the simulate, click battle, and it'll just be like, oh, you won, or oh, you lost, type of thing, So you don't have to go through any of that. But for the ones you do have to go through the actual battles, you can just like, you can click the auto button and it'll just auto do it,
See, that's kind of like my favorite type of mobile game of choice are clickers or tappers, because you early on you get to a point where like, okay, I don't need to do anything right now, and I can just let this game just run for like a day or two, and then I'll come back like, I got a bunch of shit, and I do a couple things, and then I'll put it back down. Like,
but is that really playing a game though?
Like, I mean, yeah, I mean you're playing a genre game called a clicker. Cookie clicker. That's a famous one, but that's web based. Egg Inc. I really like.
Yeah, I've been playing Strike Force for a few years off and on, and I've recently picked it back up, and I'm just like, oh, there's so much extra to this, and I'm so far behind because there'll be like certain events that'll happen that'll be like, this here you can this event you need 5 Wakanda characters at this level, and I'm just like, oh damn it, if I would have been like playing this casually for the last however long, I'd have all those Wakanda characters to but I haven't, so I gotta miss out on this event, or stuff like that. It's fun though. Like I said, I don't really like. It's more about like, I guess, just like collecting as many different characters and making the teams that I want and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying it. I enjoy it. It's just like I said, it's not a thing where I've like, I'm not a whale, or I don't have that mentality.
Right.
When I'm done. Like, it's like, oh, I can't really do anything more without spending an enormous amount of money. Okay, I'll just put that down and do something else. More of that than which is healthy. That's the healthy way to play these games. I know it's a rare way, but yeah, pretty much that's it. I haven't been doing much of anything gaming wise. Just been too busy dealing with allergies, and right now I've been muting and like sneezing like crazy, just because just grass and pollen and everything's just been it's horrible. Like, I hate it. But anyways, we got some news to talk about, so why don't we jump on that?
Yes. Let's see. Nintendo announced a new Switch. And this is not the Switch Pro that everybody was like, Nintendo's gonna announce a new Switch. They're gonna have a new Switch. It's gonna be better. Yeah. And just hyped themselves up to a frenzy. And then at E3, Nintendo did not announce anything, and people were pissed.
This has been a rumor for years, though, right? Like,
for a while,
at least over a year. Yeah,
basically since the Switch Lite came out, like
pretty much.
They're gonna have a Pro version. This isn't it. This is not it. Put it that way.
Nope.
The Switch OLED, all it is, it's a better screen. It's a slightly bigger screen. It's a 7-inch screen where the normal Switch is like 6.2. And that's it.
Still 720p though.
Yeah, like there's nothing else new. It's a new screen. That's it. That's all it is. Meaning
it's not even 1080p.
Meaning the battery life's going to be shittier. So think of that.
Yup.
Because already the Switch is not great on battery.
Is there not a battery improvement?
No, there is not.
No, wow.
There was an improvement around the time the Lite came out.
Yeah, because I think it's the red boxes people were saying to look for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this will probably have the newer battery, but there's nothing new about the battery, and new that hasn't been already out.
OLED screen though. That's gonna
it's gonna look brighter. It's gonna look a little crisper, but it's gonna be 720.
Which is fine for Nintendo games. Like with the art style for a lot of Nintendo, like their first party,
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
Stuff.
Even first party shit doesn't run great on Switch. Even docked, it doesn't run great. Handheld mode is it's even worse. So it's like, you need something to actually compete and actually run the games you're putting out. Because right now you're not. There is going to be a new dock with this new Switch, and it has a LAN port, so you can actually plug in an Ethernet cable. Now,
does the regular dock not have that?
No, it doesn't. A lot of people ask for it.
That feels so dumb.
Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering, and this is just my brain, if it's not a placebo and the dock doesn't do a damn thing and you're still using Wi-Fi on the Switch.
Oh, they're gonna get outed right away though, because you're gonna have a lot of like people like Digital Foundry and stuff like that looking into.
It's just, that was my first thought, was like, but does it actually do anything?
It seems like a Nintendo thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, but if we connect to an Ethernet port, then kids will be able to do things and people will be able to get to our kids. I am 30. We need to protect you.
Well, that's why you can't have voice chat without a mobile phone and an app. And
there's a TikToker who has sometimes coming up in my For You stuff, where he personifies game companies, and his Nintendo one is always a grandma. It's always a grandma who treats you like a 5-year-old even if you're 30.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, that's exactly what Nintendo is, though. It's like, okay, yes, Nintendo treats us like we're 5, but a majority of us are in our 30s.
I mean, they know our generation who's in Nintendo are gonna buy that stuff anyway. So they're just going after the newer generations, like the kids. So it makes sense on their side of things.
But the thing is, though, the kids, they're not playing Nintendo. They're playing Call of Duty. They're playing PlayStation.
They're playing Fortnite.
They're playing Fortnite. They're playing Fortnite on their phones. They're not going to play on a Switch. Yeah. No, okay, no. They're going to play Fortnite on their parents' phones.
I mean, no, you had it right, on their phones. Like, kids have phones now, like, or tablets. They're playing Fortnite on their phone or tablets that perform better than the Switch,
and have a bumper case that it's made out of foam.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong about that.
But good news is, if you really want that new dock, though, you can purchase the dock separately, but only through Nintendo. Oh. You can't buy it in a store like GameStop or, EB Games or wherever, Walmart. No, this is only going to be available through Nintendo. It's the dock only.
Until, like, I don't know, PDP or Mad Cats or whoever, whatever, insert cheap third party company makes their own versions.
Does Mad Cat still exist?
That's why I when I said Mad Cats, I immediately thought, like, I don't know if they're still around or not, technically. That's why I initially said PDP at first, because
technically, yeah, they do. Although they make mouse pads, keyboards, headphones, and they have one controller. What it's like for PC and a game and fight sticks.
Yeah, I was about to say probably fight sticks, right? They have
a fight stick. They have a fight stick.
Oh wow, okay.
At least on their website.
Because wasn't the Street Fighter, like, fight sticks Mad Cats, I think?
Maybe.
Yeah, Mad Cat Street Fighter 4. Okay, yeah. So that's the one I had.
Okay. I was actually wondering if, like, there are, like, third party Switch docks, and there are. But it's telling when the headline of this article is, these third party docks won't brick your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's because, like, some I guess companies, like third party stuff, like, maybe stuff you'd find on Alibaba and those kind of sites,
True.
They don't have to make sure they have the proper power regulators, or stuff like that. So, you could end up, there could be a bunch more power being surged to your, Switch than, normally would be, but from a company like, PDP or whatever, that would, they're an actual company people have heard of, so they have a name at stake, so they actually make sure that, you know, their stuff's not going to destroy it as, you know, the random companies that are on like Alibaba or, you know, those kind of sites. They don't care, you know. They sold you a dock that you'll get in a month and a half.
Yeah.
From China.
Which will sit in customs for 4 weeks. But yeah, it'll be. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch, sure, go ahead buy the OLED. But if you already have a Switch, even a launch Switch like I do, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
See, I don't have a Switch, and I think I wouldn't even get the OLED if I was getting a Switch. I would get the newer battery one. You know.
I mean, this one will probably have the newer battery.
Yeah, but the other one, the screen, yeah, it's not OLED, but
it won't drain
the battery will
the
last
battery
longer.
Faster. Yes.
Exactly. And that's, you know, that's kind of one of the big draws of the Switch is.
Yeah.
It's portable. You know.
Next in the news, Audacity. We've used Audacity in the past. We don't use Audacity anymore. But I've opened up Audacity, you know, from time to time. We love Audacity. I think it's great.
Use it from time to time. Yeah, I haven't updated in a while, so I'm sure I'm safe.
Don't update. Here's why. Audacity was actually recently bought by a company called Muse, and
there's been some issues. Yeah, like there was something before this most recent thing that I noticed like a couple months ago, I want to say.
Well, I think the version of Audacity that I use is like 1.6 because it still has a tool that we used that they redid and it was never as good. I have like 2 versions of Audacity installed, and one of them is like a 2 point whatever, and then the other one is like 1.6 because that had the noise suppression, or was it, you know, it was noise, what was it called? Noise. It was noise. Silence deletion. That's kind of what it was. It was just
truncate silence.
Truncate silence. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
And they redid it in like the 2.0 version, and it didn't work as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm on 2.4.
Well, the 3.0 version, the what was it, like the terms of service, like the, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
It's pretty much spyware, right?
Privacy policy.
Yeah.
The privacy policy kind of stated that they were going to collect users' data. Users don't like that. And it was basically, it sounded like they were turning, you know, Audacity into spyware, you know, and they could use this personal data to possibly share information with third parties, meaning sell your data, including law enforcement, potential buyers, you know, and yeah. So they were going to collect your data and then sell it to people. That's how a lot of tech companies make their money, is selling their data.
Or using it to target ads to you, like Google.
Yes.
They keep it in-house.
Google just keeps it in-house.
Yeah.
But yeah. But they have updated their policy due to unclear phrasing. They said that they will only collect very limited data, including operating system version, processor type, IP address, as well as opt-in error reports. And they will only keep the IP addresses readable for 24 hours before they will delete them, because of course they will. But yeah, I wouldn't use Audacity 3.0. Just saying.
I'm guessing they don't. Do they have it where you can download older versions still, or no?
I mean, Audacity is free. It's open source, so there should be versions somewhere. Let's see. Look on Audacity's
versions on my
website.
On my backup drive. Look.
Evil! I didn't download anything. What the fuck? Why'd you just download? I could download something.
Wait, what? What's going on?
It automatically downloaded Audacity 3.0 when I went on their website.
Holy shit. I went on their website and it didn't do that for me. Wow.
It sure did that for me. Well, I clicked on the download, to go to the downloads page.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy, that's pretty sketchy.
Hey, guess what I'm not going to install. The site looks different because, of course, it was bought by somebody. Legacy Windows. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here's older versions.
But have those older versions been updated to include this new? No,
that'd be a lot of work. I mean, that really would be a lot of work.
I mean, if they want people's data that badly, it just all depends. It's a shame. Yeah. It looks like Audacity is definitely going down the drain.
And because it's open source, there will be forks.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Saying I know for a fact that there are forks in being worked on by probably hundreds of people. Like, this is my chance to become famous and make something popular on the internet and get a tech job. Yes, I'm going to download this, modify it a little bit, and then put it out there as a new Audacity. Yeah. Change the name. And actually, in fact, I even heard of one. It was called Tenacity.
Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah.
But the user just said, I fucking give up on this because he was being attacked by 4chan.
I did see something about that.
Because he on 4chan, he, put up a poll basically to allow people to vote on the name. And he did not go with what they chose. And
that's his own fault for being on 4chan in the first place. Correct.
Also, you didn't pick what 4chan picked. What the fuck is wrong with you? And did you expect not to come out with that unscathed? You dummy. So yeah, there will be new forks of Audacity.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of a kind of sad thing because like Audacity was the go-to program for the longest time.
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, when I was looking at the older versions, I was seeing, Windows 2000, worked with Windows 2000. Like this was the version for that one. Like, man, Audacity been around a while.
yeah, I thought I had a backup version, like the actual installer
And
on my
looking at that,
drive,
maybe it's
but I
not
don't.
1.6, but it's 2.0.6 is the version that I use.
Gotcha. Yeah. Mine's 2.4.2, so I'm safe there.
But yeah, hey, be careful downloading Audacity if you're looking to upgrade. Maybe don't. So, what kind of news did you bring?
I got a couple things. One, something funny and kind of weird and kind of just it's so Xbox. Like they got the 90s group All for One.
Oh, this was a group. I didn't realize that this was an actual group. I thought this was just a group that they just like diverse people that they get together or to.
Oh, do you not remember the hit I Swear?
Well, that was Boyz II Men though.
No, that was All for One.
I thought it was Boyz II Men.
No,
that's why before the show I even brought up Boyz II Men because I thought it was Boyz II Men.
I was kind of curious why you were bringing up Boyz II Men, but I was like, well, they were around the same time, All for One.
Well, they're the same time and they sound similar.
Yeah, but yeah, I know this was All for One that did I Swear.
Okay. So that's even okay.
That's what makes this that's what makes this kind of interesting. They got them back to do I Swear remix. It's all there for Xbox All Access, which is their like lease to own or payment plan. You get the console, you get the subscription, all that, and you pay like 25 or 35 a month, something like that, and you get like everything, all access. You get Game Pass, you get the console. According to this video, like the female who it's so weird. Like this video is so bizarre.
I laughed a little bit when she brought out a candlelit dinner to play The Sims. Because I'm like, yeah, okay, you captured the fandom of The Sims because that is the fandom of The Sims.
But yeah. But it shows like her playing games and on an Xbox One, and then she has a crappy like headset.
And your Xbox turned on.
Yeah, it did. she has like a she has like a basic gaming headset or whatever, and then when she actually like upgrades, I guess using Xbox All Access or whatever, she gets the Series S. And she gets a better headset and all this and that. I don't know if like All Access comes with like a good headset and stuff. I don't even know, but it's pretty funny. It's an actual music video with the group, the 90s group All For One doing a parody or it says remix, but of their song I Swear. So it just Xbox is just a fun company. Like they're just a fun company.
They
like,
can be, yeah.
I love that they can do stuff like this. You know, they're not like doom and gloom, strict. You know, they're just like, hey, we want to do stuff to benefit gamers. You know, to help gamers. Hey, you know, you can play all this stuff on your phone or, you know, on your computer or streaming whatever, whenever, you know, if it ever does, if streaming or, you know, Xbox streaming ever does come to the Switch, like some people say, or, you know, whatever, you know, if it ever comes to other places, but they're, you know, they're like, you know, we want you to play it on, you know, Xbox, but you can play it on other stuff, you know, but like they're just, they're I just love how their approach to everything where, you know, they're not strict like a Sony, you know, where it's like, how long did it take Sony in order to actually allow like crossplay? And that's still not an easy thing to get, you know, for that's still not a easy thing for a developer to have for their game. Because what is it? I think Borderlands just came out with crossplay, and I think there's an issue with the PlayStation version.
We don't want outside communities corrupting our nice, safe community. Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah, like it's, but and then you have like, you know, Microsoft doing something like this, you know, or them selling them selling mini fridges that look like the Series X. Like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. Microsoft is just, or Xbox, I guess, you know, the Xbox division of Microsoft is just a fun company. Like that, I just love watching what fun stuff they do, and the whole like Phil Spencer, let's glue our eyes to his t-shirts, you know, read the tea leaves, all that. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just fun to like pay attention to Microsoft, you know, or to Xbox, to see what comes from them, because there's all of these fun things that happen, you know. And they are willing to play ball, you know. They're like, we don't care. Play this game on your PC, play this on an Xbox, play this on, you know, your phone or tablet or whatever. Like, it's just, you know, and I don't really play Xbox. Like, I only play on my PC now. So that's, you know, that's just how I am. That's what I choose, because my Xbox One is so old and stuff like that. But like, we've talked about this before, whenever like streaming is available for Xbox, like I'll definitely check that out. Or for the Xbox One, I'll definitely check that out to see how that how well that runs, you know.
Speaking of which, something I completely forgot that I was gonna play and kind of test out was like the full like cloud that they have out now for everybody. Because like,
oh yeah,
I totally forgot to even try it out, because like, hey, you can now play on your PC, because that's like, because before it was like you could only play on your phone.
it's like, yeah, it's like, what is it?
I don't even.
So like xbox.com/play. Yeah. Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta on Xbox.com. Yeah. So xbox.com/play, and that'll bring it to you. It's like sign in, or if you know, or join Ultimate, because I guess you have to have Ultimate in order to stream, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, compatible devices and browsers, Windows 10 PC or Apple mobile devices with iOS 14.4 plus, whatever, I don't know, whatever that means. And you can click on it and it shows you a bit more stuff, but pair your controller with via Bluetooth or USB or touch controls. Um, 10 megabits per second minimum with 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection recommended. So it's not requiring a whole lot, but and was it?
And
It's
these are
all
and like the games you can play are the console games, not like PC games. These are the console games.
and they just upgraded it too. I don't know if you knew that they upgraded to the Series X. So
I didn't.
it's not Xbox One versions; they're Series X versions now.
Cool.
They upgraded their servers. Yeah, I tried that, and I tried that, and I was messing around with Destiny, and I was able to like actually change the FOV and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is not the Xbox One version. This is the Series X version now. Awesome. So they did roll that out like a week or so ago.
Yeah,
So,
it was just recently.
But yeah, like I we mentioned it last. I think I mentioned it last week. Like it's been hinted at and kind of talked about. But like, yeah, if I can play like Series X games streaming from my Xbox One, and not, I'll definitely try that out. I'm not gonna have it Wi-Fi. I'll have it hardwired, of course. But like, if I can do that and play certain games on the couch and not have to be up in my PC, all the time playing games. And then, a lot of games are starting to have cross progression or cross save, and all of Microsoft's first party stuff has cross save, in the cloud. So
now what they need to
going
do
back and forth,
is enable mouse and keyboard.
It's available for, oh yeah, I was about to say, I think it's available on the Series X. I don't know.
For some games. It's up to the developers. This needs to be console wide.
Yeah. I mean, it's just some developers aren't like, I imagine they don't have it like, they don't have it. They're not forcing it because some developers may not have the time to port or to go through the necessary steps to make sure mouse and keyboard works with their little indie game, that they have just on Xbox or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Like those indie games like Doom Eternal. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you for that. I'm just that's why they don't have it forced.
just trying to play Doom Eternal. Nope, you need a controller.
Yeah, that I don't understand because that's already on PC. They already have all that stuff mapped out. Yeah, there's no excuses there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but for
it seems like like
fusion frenzy. Sure, I understand. Banjo Kazooie. Sure, I understand. But yeah. But for golf with friends, no, that's got keyboard support.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so that's kind of that's the thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, that's the exciting thing is that they did switch over the streaming, so it's now the Series X versions of the games and not Xbox One, which is nice.
I'm curious on how a game like Hypnospace Outlaw plays with a controller. Because that is a game that definitely, I played it on PC. I recommend everybody plays Hypnospace Outlaw. Great fucking game. I'm wondering how that plays with the controller because that requires typing. Or at least it does on the PC. Because what that game is like it's a fake internet. And you are diving deep into this fake 80s internet.
Oh, it's that game. Okay,
Yeah. Um,
When you have the on-screen keyboard that pops up, and then you have to move the analog sticks accordingly, or if you have the chat pad, which I don't know who does.
which they don't sell anymore.
Yeah. I think you can plug in a keyboard for typing stuff and use that way on like the
Or
Xbox
some
consoles.
games. Okay, but like for some games, and this is a game though. But like it said,
I mean, for like just actual typing, like if you need to type.
xCloud stuff, it for this requires a controller.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's there's some issues they need to fix. They need to hammer out and settle. But Xbox has been doing a damn good job. Like, so you can't really be too upset at them for minor things like that.
I'm curious on what like the load time is.
I did notice the loading, like in Destiny, was a lot quicker than it is on Xbox One. Like, considering it's now the Series X version. So I was like, oh, okay, nice. Because it takes forever to load anything in Destiny 2 on the regular Xbox One.
Not bad. Maybe a minute. I loaded up Banjo Kazooie, getting your Xbox 360 info, and I'm seeing a legitimate Xbox 360 screen.
Nice. Yeah, is that? I guess that is just the 360 version, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They never actually came out with an actual Xbox One version. It was just the backwards compatible version that was part of the Rare Replay stuff.
I would play around with it, actually play maybe like a shooter to see like what's the latency, like a platformer or something. Like
I've messed around on
it usable
different devices.
on one of those?
I messed around on different devices, and like on PC, like it's all right, but on a phone or like an Android device that I have, I don't have an iPhone or anything like that. I gotta say the best streaming platform for mobile so far is Nvidia, hands down. Nvidia services, their GeForce Now service is like solid.
Yeah, I'll have to try that out because when I've tried xCloud in the past on my phone, I was like, there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah, I've tried.
Noticeable.
The game I go to is Destiny 2 because I know that game. I know how that game should feel.
Sure.
And like if it's a little off, I know. Like I definitely can tell. And as far the Nvidia's or theirs has been very solid, very good. And theirs just it's just theirs just uses your existing library for the most part. And was it the free version? You can play out an hour at a time, up to like 1080p or whatever, and then you got to pay for like 4K and longer sessions, or I think it's like 6-hour sessions before you have to redo it, and then you basically just skip the queue. I was actually trying
let's see.
G.
So if you pay, it's priority access to gaming servers, extended session length. Doesn't say unlimited. I will say that. It just says extended.
Yeah, it's 6 hours at a time.
Okay. And then you get
Which,
RTX.
I mean,
which, hey.
Like, yeah, if 6 hours at a time, I think is fine. And then if you need longer, you can just reaccess it and you have priority, But I did try NVIDIA GeForce Now again, because I wanted to compare it to, the new cloud streaming with the Series X version,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't pay for it. I just was doing the free one, and the queue took like less than 5 minutes. Like, it was like there's 48 people ahead of you, and then it just, less than 5 minutes, and I was in the game doing stuff.
I need to do here's what I should do. I should do a test. I find a game that I own and also supported on GeForce Now, but also on xCloud, and just do a comparison. All three of them. I might do that.
Okay. That would be interesting. Yeah. So, yeah. And the only one I haven't tried is Luna. I haven't tried that. Amazon's.
Oh, right.
Which I don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
Is it the GeForce way where you'd access stuff you own, or is it
that's interesting wording.
The Stadia
Play on
way?
Screens you already own. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Congratulations, you're in. We're excited to let you know you're invited to join Amazon Luna Early Access. Let's get you started.
That was quick.
Okay, that was easy. That was easy. Select a channel to accept Luna. What?
I don't see anything about what games are accessible. It shows.
Okay, that's
it shows Control. It shows it shows a number of games, but I'm like, do you have to own these games already? It doesn't say. Honestly, it does not say.
I'm looking at their FAQ.
Okay, growing library of games, including Control, Grid, Metro, Exodus.
Okay, so it's a kind of like Game Pass.
So it's kind of like Game Pass.
So it's $5.99 a month.
That's cheaper than Game Pass, but it doesn't have the library.
Game Pass gives you a lot more though too.
True.
Up to 1080p 60, stream on 2 devices at a time, play on PC, Mac, Fire TV, web apps for iPhone, iPad, and select Android phones. And then if you have if you have Ubisoft Plus, I think you it's included.
No, it's extra.
It's extra?
Because it's two separate. Because there's Ubisoft Plus, which is $15.90, which is $15 a month.
Yeah, up to 1080, whatever. You only get one device at a time, though, if you have Ubisoft Plus.
Correct. With Luna is 2 devices.
Yeah. So I guess if you have Ubisoft Plus, you can access Luna, but it's just those games on the Ubisoft Plus.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which means you won't get the Ubisoft games on Luna.
Well, you won't get all the other games that aren't Ubisoft on Luna. Yeah. So, I don't know. This one seems a little more confusing than some of the others, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I trust Amazon and Amazon service about as well as I trust a Google service.
Yeah. Like I've said before, I've said in the past, if
Other
there's
than
any
Twitch,
company that,
because Twitch was popular before Amazon bought them.
yeah, I think I was saying all these streaming services were like in beta competing against each other. Like if there's one I trust, it's Nvidia because they're the graphic card manufacturer. If they know how to, if any company would know how to do cloud game streaming, you'd think it'd be Nvidia, and they're pretty solid.
And it
Whenever
doesn't
I
seem to
have
be
used
like
them.
what Google's problem is Google built a service and made that service a bubble where you could not access outside of that bubble. That's where Google
plus,
really failed. Was Google the Stadia stuff was like the Stadia is its own version. It's separate from the others, and you can't talk to anybody outside of it. We're like PlayStation.
You have to buy the games individually, plus you have to pay for the subscription. So it's like they're trying to double dip. Yeah. Versus like Nvidia, where it's like you own the game on Steam. Hey, we're gonna just log into, you're logging into a virtual PC where you log into Steam and you access your library. Or Game Pass, where it's like, hey, you pay for all these games.
With Stadia, you were renting the console along with buying the game.
Exactly, yeah. Which, like I said, double dipping, which is not, that's not what gamers want. They don't want. We want convenience, and for a service, cloud streaming is supposed to be about convenience, It's very anti-convenient, but yeah. Huh. Anyways, next thing I got, is WitcherCon going on now, or
I don't know, but there's a bunch of Witcher stuff that came out.
Yeah, I saw something about WitcherCon, and I'm not quite sure if like that's going on now, and that's why all this Witcher news.
Yeah, you are correct. It is July 9th, which is today.
Yes. A lot of Witcher stuff, including like the Witcher the show. There's a teaser for season 2, release date for season 2, which is December 17th. Which, hey, awesome. It's this year. I can't wait. There's an anime coming in August, right? August.
I don't know.
I think. I think it's like August 20 something. I don't know. But
Taylor Swift, that's weird.
Was it the news I got here? Witcher 3 Wild Hunt next gen update is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC this year, along with free DLC inspired by The Witcher Netflix. So, The Witcher Netflix is like a prequel to the games, right?
Yes, it is based off some of the stories.
Based the book series
from some of the prequel books, there is a book series, or is a book that it's an anthology of like a bunch of stuff that happens before the books, which is the only one that I've read. I've not finished it, but I have read part of it because I was told that was a good place when you look it up online where to start reading The Witcher. People say there with that book.
Gotcha. So, yeah. So that's kind of interesting that, that not only are they going to give you, not only is the next gen updates and stuff going to come out, also on PC too. That's also a cool thing. Like, not just just the console versions, which a lot of these games that are coming out, they're just, you're not seeing PC upgrades. You're just seeing the next year, or the PS5 and Series X/S upgrades, because
Right.
But so that's cool.
Because when they make the PC version, you already expect them to make it as high as quality as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a while ago that it came out. So
true.
There's a lot more bells and whistles that can be added to the PC version.
But hey, it looks better than Cyberpunk.
Is it going to be a paid thing, this upgrade?
That's possible.
I don't see it in this article. I'm looking. I need to go back and play Witcher 3 more. Like, I played like a few hours of it and enjoyed it, and then stuff happened, and I played it like right around the time it came out, so long ago. I think I played it before they came out. I played it right when it came out, and the combat was really kind of clunky, I remember. And then they like fixed that with like a patch, I think, later on. I want to say. So I need to go back and play through that. I think I still have my save somewhere, like on my backup drive, so I can even pick that up. But what was it? Yeah, I don't know, but hey, that's interesting. That they're going all in with the Netflix tie-ins and stuff like that, and like I said, season 2 is coming out this year, and there's going to be a prequel anime show on Netflix coming out, and there's a lot of Witcher stuff,
which is weird because it's a prequel of a prequel.
Yeah, true, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for more Witcher stuff. I really enjoyed the Witcher show. Like, it was really solid. I really liked it a lot, and having to wait even longer, I'm because of COVID and all that has really sucked.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of surprised is coming out later this year, because I saw, like, didn't they just finish wrapping up like in June filming? I want to say I saw something about that. Like, I saw like they had some like video where they were like, "Hey, it's the last day. We're wrapping up," type of thing. I want to say I saw that it came out in June, but I don't know. Time seems to blend together lately. It could have been 3 months ago for all I know. So that's interesting though. Like I said, no, CD Projekt Red will release its free next gen update for The Witcher 3. Okay, so it is free. So that's cool. Good on them, They need good PR after Cyberpunk. Which apparently Cyberpunk is playable.
I don't know.
It's actually playable. Like, I know people who are actually playing it.
I've played. I've beaten the game, but like, I don't. I don't. That game should not. It should not have been made for last gen consoles. It should not have been made for the Xbox One or PS4 because it was obviously not designed for them.
Nope.
And they made a lot of claims about that game that they could not fulfill. About the world, about a lot of that they just could not fulfill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Witcher 3 put them on the map, like to where, you know, I had no clue about CD Projekt Red before The Witcher 3. You know, like, of course they did Witcher 1 and 2 and all, you know, whatever. But like, I didn't know anything until Witcher 3.
I had heard of The Witcher. Like from like one of like the old like tag podcasts, like early days. Like maybe Sarcastic Gamer talked about The Witcher.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe them or the, what was it Video Game Radio or what was that podcast? Oh,
There was
they
talking
played
about
a lot of PC stuff. No, it was not part of talking about games. It was like in the same as like they part of this they were part of the Sarcastic Gamer, like the network that they were part of, you know, with Tag and I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, they did like I can't remember. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I hadn't really, they weren't on my map till like Witcher 3 and, you know,
yeah,
that, and then everyone played Witcher 3 and, you know, kept talking its praise and put CD Projekt Red up there as like a top tier company. And then it was like, oh, the people who did Witcher 3 is going to make Cyberpunk. And yeah, it just got so much hype that it could never live up to.
yeah.
But that's it for me. And if you got anything else, we can, I guess, wrap this up.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay, this has been episode 427 of the Geeks for the Win podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Stuart's at Casual Terror. I'm at WillPlayGames_. And we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals are harmed making this podcast.